It's still early on the third day of creation. A massive earthquake has shaken the world. Land has mysteriously emerged from the ocean, forming islands of all sizes and shapes. Majestic mountains, rolling hills, beautiful beaches now stand where there was once only sea. But something seems off. The land looks dark and barren except for a few glittering patches of precious metals on the surface. There isn't a tree, bush, or blade of grass in sight. Surely God doesn't intend for anyone to live in a place like this. Wait a minute, it's too soon to judge. Listen, God is speaking again. The same wonderful voice that said, "Let there be light," now commands, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb-yielding seed and fruit-yielding tree after its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth." Now look, what a transformation! Look at those hills. They're no longer barren, but covered in vivid green grass, bushes, and trees. Look at the mountains. See those glorious pines, cedars, and redwoods reaching up to the highest peaks? And the fields, what beauty! Look at the flowers, masses of them in every kind and color, like a living carpet over the whole countryside. Buttercups and daisies, poppies and marigolds, bluebells and daffodils, hollyhocks and snapdragons, geraniums and delphiniums, orchids and begonias, roses and lilacs. How did God think of so many? And how marvelously He made them all, each with its own delicate design, unique color and fragrance. And the earth brought forth grass, herb yielding seed after its kind, and tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself after its kind. And God saw that it was good. It must have been incredibly good. With God as the designer and maker of it all, He was pleased with it. The Bible says that all things were created for His pleasure, and I like to think that He enjoyed making all these plants and flowers and trees, each one different from all the others, and then giving them all the power to reproduce after its kind, for all time to come. God seems to have a special interest in the trees yielding fruit, or, as we would say, the fruit trees. With what care He has made the apple trees, plum trees, pear trees, orange trees, lemon trees, avocado trees, and all the rest, each with its own choice fruit. And I imagine Him moving from one beautiful tree to another, perhaps even tasting the fruit, and saying to Himself, "He'll like this. I'm sure He will. And this, and this." For God was not thinking of Himself, but someone else. Someone at the moment existed only in His mind, who would soon be real, living being. Someone to whom He was planning to give all this beauty and loveliness, all this wealth of treasure and delight, all the gold, silver, and precious stones that sparkled and glittered amidst the grass and flowers, all the bountiful provision of nuts, fruits, and grains, all the glory of this wonderful new world, all was for Him, to make Him happy, to cause Him to turn with loving adoration and thankfulness to His Creator. The world was nearly ready for Him. Nearly, but not quite. There were a few more things to be done. And the evening and the morning were the third day.
The earth was dark, the land was bare, the mountains stood in solemn air. No bloom, no green, no whispering tree, a barren hush across the sea. But from the sky a voice rang clear, "Let life arise and beauty near." Oh, watch the hills, the flowers bloom, the valleys bright with sweet perfume. God's hand paints the morning sky as life begins to flourish by and by. Gold and silver caught the light, but life still hid from mortal sight, until the voice called once again, let grass and trees adorn the plain. Now fields of flowers gently rise, creation waking 'neath the skies. Oh, watch the hills, the flowers bloom, the valleys bright with sweet perfume. God's hand paints the morning sky, and life begins to flourish by and by. Fruit upon the branches hung, each seed with life, each leaf unsprung. The world was shaped for us to see, a gift prepared so lovingly. The trees stretched high, the rivers ran, the stage was set for God's great plan. Each petal danced, each blade would sing, awaiting joy that He would bring. The third day faded into night, and all was good. What a sight! Oh, watch the hills, the flowers bloom, the valleys bright with sweet perfume. God's hand paints the morning sky, and life begins to flourish by and by. Flourish by